Hello everyone! I realised earlier this month that I haven't actually introduced myself here, which isn't great, so I thought I'd make this episode a little get to know me. Hi, I'm Jane Sophia, and I'm the producer and everything else of the Orange Suits and Boots podcast. I host every episode, conduct the interviews, edit, and sort what little marketing there is at the minute. I'm an active motorsport marshal, and through this I've become a community champion for Racing Pride. So let's start off with marshalling, shall we? You may have already guessed, but this is one of my favourite hobbies, and yes, I say hobby. As a UK motorsport marshal, we do not get paid, but we do get perks. Clubs and MSUK/BMMC organise training for us to ensure we can handle any situation thrown at us. As marshals, we're a community of volunteers that cover a range of roles from trackside to pits to assembly and paddock. Essentially, if you're at a racetrack and see a bunch of people dressed in orange boiler suits running out to an incident or gridding cars up, that's us. I'm a pit lane marshal, which means I also work in assembly occasionally. In assembly, we make sure the cars and drivers are utilising their safety protocols like hands devices and seat belts, alongside getting them into the right order to go round to the grid, for races at least. In the pit lane, we have a range of roles overseen by 3 chiefs. This is of course a sweeping generalisation and may not be how every track or organising body coordinates things. So there's Chief Pit, Start Line and Flag. Chief Pit wanders around the pit lane ensuring everything is running smoothly and the rules are upheld while also sorting any in-race stop-and-go penalties. Chief Start Line takes charge of, you guessed it, the start line. This is the person that coordinates marshals to go out on track before a race, or during if there's a red flag, and grid up the cars, meaning they start in the right place. You'll also see the pit and start line teams, often the same people at Donington, my home track, on the pit wall holding some lovely yellow flags at the beginning of the race. These marshals monitor for false or jumped starts and use the flag to signify if something's wrong in their section of the grid, so the chiefs and race control can make informed decisions. Chief Flag is the person or team in the box at the top of the pit lane, at least at Donington. This is typically the marshal to start races, setting the timings for the lights out and away we go, and finish races. This person monitors the race to keep on top of timings alongside who is where and comes with added responsibility of telling race control and the rest of the track when the last lap is. No, that isn't done with AI or anything, it's done by us. And they also say who takes the checkered flag. Unless it's a photo finish, then sometimes you might be able to say, no, I'm not calling that. Now, I'm telling you all of this because these are all roles I've done. Not too often, mind, I'm still very early in my marshalling career and tend to spend my time as a standard pit marshal, helping out as needed. I like to think of this role as a jack of all trades, particularly at Donington. After our morning briefing from the chiefs, we take on many roles, from general pit lane monitoring, crowd control to ensure the pit wall doesn't become too dangerous or spectators don't wander in, pit exit and regulation management. That's a fancy way of saying we call people out when they do something wrong, and that usually results in report writing. Don't worry though, they're only short reports. This is a lot more common on club weekends where the drivers are not all professional, and particularly weekends where refuelling takes place mid-race. So that's marshalling, but how did I get into it? Well, it all started at a truck race. My partner wanted to go to the track as early as possible when we were spectators, meaning we got there way before anybody else and ended up having breakfast with the marshals. We had a bit of a chat and said, maybe that's a good way to see more motorsport, and decided to ask the Orange Army about it. We were immediately welcomed with open arms and whisked off to sign up for a taster day. We could have done one that day if we wanted, but we'd brought the tickets and wanted to watch the racing, so we decided to come back another time. One very wet truck meeting and a taster day later, we were hooked and never looked back. But how did this then translate to Racing Pride? Well, as you've probably seen from my previous posts, I'm a Racing Pride community champion this year. I first saw Racing Pride at a GT meeting, but didn't get a chance to say hi due to the typical very short Donington lunch break. I did, however, stare longingly at the gazebo and resolved to check it out on social media later. Discovering that Racing Pride is an international movement promoting LGBTQ+ inclusion through motorsport and the surrounding industries, I was instantly on board and started following the Racing Pride Instagram and liking every post I saw. Over a year or so of this, I became friends with one of the founders and eventually got to meet the Racing Pride team at Autosport International 2025. Here, I finally managed to speak to this friend in person, isn't the internet weird, and have a chat with those representing the movement at the show. Safe to say, I found another community within motorsport that made me feel at home. Not long after, I was asked if I'd like to apply to be a community champion and was incredibly honoured to be chosen. The opportunity to help promote such an incredible movement and show the importance of support and diversity in motorsport as a whole is just amazing for me. Through Racing Pride, I've had some incredible experiences. I've been to Pride events, joined an incredible Discord community, and even sat on a panel at Silverstone. Being able to show how incredible marshalling is while promoting values I believe in is honestly a dream come true for little Jane that so badly wanted to be involved in the industry. Other than giving me confidence, leadership skills, and something to do on weekends, has marshalling actually affected my life? It's safe to say the answer is a resounding yes. Other than a motorsport-themed wedding with toy car favours and nods to the sport everywhere, I also went go-karting on my Hen-Do. That's the picture you'll see on the promo for this. On that note, I would absolutely recommend Team Sport go-karting in Sheffield. I think we were the first hen party they've ever had, but proper petrol-powered carts on a 2-floor track? What more could I have asked for? So that's me. Thank you for listening to this point, both in the episode and the previous interviews. I set out to start this podcast so I could highlight the amazing people you don't always see in our motorsport community, and I've met so many wonderful humans because of this. Have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you at a track soon. Bye!